Hey everyone, it's Blue Lizard Jello here, and welcome back to Blue Plays Scholar of the First Sin, and Osmund is looking a little ragged. He is not wearing any armor of any significance besides the engraved gauntlets, and why is that? Well, that's because I want to show you a particularly interesting item that many people unfortunately have either never seen before, or maybe even never will, depending on your level of dedication, and that is what I just did there. I am now power stancing my fist, and the reason I have that ability is because just put it away, I have actually got the Vanquisher seal, Ring of the Company of Champions Covenant, so you need 50 Awe-stones in order to achieve rank 3 in this covenant in order to get this ring, and it greatly increases the attack power of your bare hands. The souls of fallen heroes found along the way salute those who scoff at danger and bravely seek the harder path. Now, you do have to be in the Company of Champions in order to get the Awe-stones and in order to turn them in to get the ring, but once you have the ring, you can abandon it, and then you can actually wear the ring at any point. And we're going to be testing this out. Now, I'm only going to be using this for the first part of this video for the early portion of Aldia's Keep. Oh, I didn't realize there's enemies here now. But later, I do have another build that I'll be showing off to you. By the way, just in case you aren't familiar of where we are, oh, and I should show you the rest of my gear too. But we are at the Ruined Fork bonfire. Over there is the way to the Shaded Woods and the Shaded Ruins. Over there goes to the Shrine of Winter. This area straight ahead, this leads to Aldia's Keep, which you cannot do anything with besides get one item up ahead until you have the King's Ring, so keep that in mind. But let's go ahead, see what kind of damage we can do with these little, these monkey-looking things, which apparently just run away? Yep, they just run away. Okay. Not really sure what's up with that. I guess the goal is to try to get you to run into this ogre without paying attention. I've seen this ogre before. He's not in the original. He is only OGs in Scholar of the First Sin. But look at that damage. I'm doing 218 with a punch. So let's see if we can actually get this guy to sit down for us. Come on. It's a little bit tighter of a corridor, I understand, but here's the L1, so you do a double hit. Let me get behind. So this is your R1, just a standard punch. Here's your R2. Oh, and actually I just got a crit thanks to the engraved gauntlets, which is very cool. And then lastly, I want to show you the L2. Kind of a windmill haymaker type deal, which is pretty cool. So the damage is actually respectable. Now, the other thing that you can do in order to increase the damage is you can use Flynn's Ring from the Crown of the Sunken King DLC, which will give you an extra 50 attack rating if you're below endurance. I believe it's about 11 or 12, somewhere around there. It has to do with the amount of equipment burning, but you can also get the Ring of Blades +2 from the Dual Pursuer fight in the Throne Room in Drangley Castle in New Game Plus. Plus, you can get your strength and your dexterity up because it does scale with both strength and dexterity. So, max out both those stats, get those rings, you can do some serious damage. I actually killed the Ancient Dragon with the Vanquisher seal and the Engraved Gauntlets build a while ago. So, pretty fun. Look at that, I'm one-shotting these with a regular R1 when I can actually hit them. How about a jumping attack? How about a jumping attack that connects? How about you just die? There we go, 427. And that's all I really wanted to show you. It's a really fun ring to play with. I have an idea for a low-level Soul Memory 30,000 build that uses the Vanquisher seal. We'll see if I can actually get around to it. It's going to be somewhat of a nightmare to collect 50 Awe-stones. Oh, there's a Cyan Knight now. Well, let's see how I can deal with the Cyan Knight, and then we'll actually trade off to the other build that I'll be using. I wonder what kind of backstab damage I'll do. Or, actually, you know what? This is a Cyan Knight. You can get a guard break critical on them, but I don't think I can do it power stance. So let's get out of power stance. And, nope, come on. That was really good damage, don't get me wrong, but I want to, there we go, and, oh, only 1,074 damage with a bare fist. Not too bad. Alright, now, I do have the King's Ring equipped. As soon as the door starts to open, you can actually switch to whatever ring you want, so I'll be going back to my Ring of Seal Protection. The door will continue opening. Not that it's a huge time save, but gives you something to do while this very, very slow door opens up. And presenting Aldia's Keep. But that is going to do it for the Vanquisher Seal build, so I'm going to switch into my other gear, and then I'll show you exactly what that gear is. I'll show you my stats, because I did actually use a soul vessel to reallocate some of my stats so I could use different weapons for the remainder of the playthrough. So I'll see you guys in just a moment here. And here he is, in all of his ferocious looking glory. Asmund has never looked so intimidating in my mind. We are wearing Vengarl's helm, dark armor, the Smelter Demon gauntlets, which are just absolutely massive. I've never worn them before, and the Smelter Demon leggings. As for rings, pretty standard here, and I'm using the Fume Ultra Greatsword +3. I didn't have enough Dragon Bones in order to get to +5, nor do I think I really need it, to be quite honest. So we'll see how we fare, but let's take a look at the stats. Still level soul level 150, but I changed my stats around, so I dropped down back to 5 intelligence and faith, put some extra points into dexterity, and lowered my strength to 40. And I think I also increased my vitality a little bit. I'm not sure, but this is what we're going to be playing with. I'm not going with a shield, but I think we're going to have some fun with this weapon. So we will see. I also have some repair powder on the hotbar, just in case. So there's some loot to be had in this courtyard, plus you have these poison monkeys. Excellent miss. 677, yeah, I guess that'll do. Yep, that were. Oh, you're still alive. Okay, well, come back. There we go. Not to mention, this area, we should be completing Lucatiel's questline, and I can actually even see her in there right now. Ugh, it's such a painful time. Oh, I hit the touchpad. My apologies. And are you still a mimic? You definitely are a mimic. How do we know it's mimic, ladies and gentlemen? Because it has locks, it's slightly off-colored, and you can see inside it. So let's see what damage we can do with just 2 of these. And don't eat me. And hyper armor, of course. And you are dead. The malformed skull and the dark mask. That's interesting. The malformed skull, I'll show you this weapon. This is actually something that I had a theory on back when I first found it, that this is actually, so this is the top skull, or the top half of what appears to be some sort of dragon skull. But then you also have the malformed shell, which looks to be the jaw of one of the imperfect dragons that we saw in the Crown of the Sunken King DLC. It actually has molars instead of these sharp canine teeth. I'll try to remember to show you guys that when we get it. But the reason that's interesting is that the malformed skull used to be in a door later on in Aldia's Keep that you actually had to get an ogre to break down. So I'm curious as to what they're now putting behind that door. But here we go. Lucatiel. Looking a little worse for wear. Not to mention, you can now see her face. Let's see if I can get it to actually focus on her face. There we go. That's a pretty good shot. So you can see some scarring. Her eye is clouded over, indicating some sort of injury, possibly a burn. But let's talk to her, because she has one of the best lines in all of Dark Souls 2 in this encounter.
Who are you? No, forgive me. I know you. Yes, of course. How goes your journey? I know not what you seek in this foreign land, but I pray for your safety. Please take these.
Because we had Lucatiel with us for at least 3 out of the 4 boss battles, and she survived, we now get her greatsword, which is my personal favorite sword in the entire game. We get her mask, which is similar to the mirror hat that we got in the Frigid Outskirts, but it actually has the face, and we got her armor.
My name is Lucatiel. I beg of you remember my name, for I name not myself.
I beg of you, remember my name, for I may not myself. This is the absolute embodiment and finalization of the curse that is both hollowing and the curse that is life itself in this land. Because one of the things that happens along with losing your humanity and losing your souls over and over is that you begin to lose a grip on reality. You begin to lose a feeling for self. And Lucatiel, more than anyone else in this game, or frankly, any game in the Soulsborne universe, really showcases just the true ramifications of the curse. And even though I didn't connect with very many NPCs in this game, or in Bloodborne for that matter, there's something about Lucatiel's questline, as short as it is and as uninvolved as the player is, there's just something that's honestly very touching about it. Not only did we just complete her questline, and she asked us to remember her because she might not even remember herself soon, but the reason that she was here to begin with is that she actually followed her brother, Lucatiel, who also came from Mira, excuse me. And now, not only did we just finish Lucatiel's quest, but now we actually have to dispatch of Lucatiel. And this might seem cruel, but Lucatiel is actually faring even worse than his sister, and we are actually going to be doing him a service. Think about Lucatiel and Lucatiel's story. It's one that honestly gets to me every time. I can't complete the game without completing her storyline. I just can't allow myself. But moving on, let's get off of such a somber topic. Here we are in Aldia's Keep. Now, I have seen Aldia's Keep in Scholar of the First Sin. I now know that this guy does not animate right away. But, to be honest, I don't really know what does animate him. I don't know if it's lighting these sconces. I did hear that there's something that happens when I do this. In fact, this is a developer message telling me don't you dare, but since when have we ever listened to a developer message? Okay. Here we go. It looks like, is that the forlorn? It looks like it. We are doing some serious damage at only +3. This would be quite the formidable weapon at a +5. Wow, especially that R2 is pretty good. Oh, you walked into that one. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be invaded by him over and over. It's quite possible. Now, the other thing is, over here, you have all these developer messages. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. And then lastly, you get one that says, don't you dare. And I'm not going to right now. What happens is, when you pull that lever, you actually let Navlan, the sorcerer, out of his imprisonment, which is over here. The reason I'm not going to do that is because I do want to do Navlan's quest, which involves not releasing him, and you also need to be hollow in order to talk to him. So we're going to do that at another time, back when I actually have all the items that he's going to request. Essentially, he is somewhat similar to Mephistopheles, the NPC from Demon Souls, who requests that you actually perform some assassinations for him, and when you do that, he asks for proof. So, for example, Navlan will ask for Kale's helmet, Kale the cartographer's helmet. Now, you can either kill Kale and get the helmet, or you can do the more humane thing, and you can actually just talk to him once you've lit all the flames in the Drang Lake map, and then you can get his equipment that way. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to collect all the items. I do hear a crystal lizard. Now, there used to be a false one up here. Maybe that's what I just heard. Okay, this chest looks safe. Great magic barrier. Oh, and you know what? We can't actually buff this sword, so we'll get rid of it. And I wonder why that is. Does it have flame properties? It does, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It's pure physical. I'm curious as to why we can't buff that. We have some mirror enemies here. That's new. The item actually sticking in a corpse outside of the mirror. That's interesting. That R2 is really good. I really like that it throws them backwards. I also like that he didn't bother attacking at all. There's a large soul item. Oh, we have a summon sign over there. That's new. I always get excited by all these new changes. Can I get a backstab? No? Wow. Just not doing anything. Who's this? Sellsword. Cool. Northern Ritual Vein +2 and another Petrified Dragon Bone. I'm actually maybe going to get enough Dragon Bones in here to get enough to get this to +5. And I might end up using it again just because it's really fun to use. Who knew? Well, probably a lot of you. I've just never used this sword before. There is a bright bug. New edition. That is the only place that I have seen, I believe that I've seen, where you can get a bright bug in the vanilla portions of the DLC without buying them from Valencia. If you don't have a fragrant branch of yore, you're not stuck. You can just go up the staircase that we saw over there. I want to get this guy out of the way because in the last version, he actually dropped the Dragon Acolyte mask, and I'm curious if that is the same here. Sit down. No? Oh, you're kind of stuck because you're leashing? Alright, we'll come up here and fight then. It'll be a little bit easier for both of us. You can hear the giant basilisk up above. Oh, still, he got me. Hey. There you go. Now sit. Good. There we go. Good. Do one for now. I'm curious what an R2-R2 combo looks like, but I'm not going to get a chance to use it because he died on the one R2. Okay, we still get the Dragon Acolyte mask. I really like this mask. I've seen it used for a lot of fencing videos. Pretty cool looking. Anyway, back to Vengarl's helm. And let's head back, or let's head up some more. Yeah, another petrify. Why would I unpetrify you? Oh, you know what? I don't have any more branches of yore. I wonder if they drop anything that I need. By the way, just showing you where the staircase would have brought us up. That is right here. The basilisk, unless you actually interact with him, he is non-hostile. I think you can even grab this item. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope. You can even grab the crimson water. We'll kill him in a moment. But there's a chest down here with another sconce. Of course we're going to light it. Developers be darned, am I right? Come on. Get a little healing going. Roll backwards. Roll backwards. Alright. That stagger, though. And will you finish with that? Yes, you will. Excellent. Another forlorn down. I believe the dragon moves when you light all the sconces. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. 2 bonfire setics. I've actually used some bonfire setics in this route. I think I've talked to you about some of them. I've used it to get particular items or just farm some souls. But let us go ahead. We're going to take care of this basilisk. He's got some health on him. He does hurt, by the way. Don't mistake his slow movements for someone who's not going to lay the hurt on you. He will if you give him the opportunity. But then again, just don't give him that opportunity. There's also really no reason to kill him. Did I miss any sconces? I don't think I did. Well, we'll push forward. If we missed any, we can always come back. Hopefully there's not one in this little area, and you can't light these wall sconces. Alright, room is definitely darker. That's a mimic up there. Why is there a mimic? Okay, I can see the enemy behind this painting, so let's draw him out. You can see these are wearing the Dragon Acolyte masks. Don't throw your witching urns at me. These can be a good source of petrified dragon bones. They have a decent drop rate, especially if you have some item farming gear. We are going to be releasing the ogres because we're going to need at least one of them later on. Just not right away. But I want to clear as much as I can first, and I also want to get to the hidden bonfire in this area. No, it's not behind these bookshelves. We did get a Ferris Lockstone, which is good because we only had one left. But right here, in this wall, a lot of people tend to miss this. Unless, of course, if you're online, as per usual, there will be plenty of messages indicating that you can open up that wall. Down here, we can go in here if we want, but there are a couple of menacing dogs that are going to do some damage. Plus, if we go in there, guns a-blazing, oh look, there's another sconce, then our equipment is going to get eroded very quickly. So instead, we're going to deal with them a little bit later, and we're going to deal with them from a distance, and then we'll go in there kind of without gear, so we have a little bit more of a chance of not breaking all of our stuff. I do love that R2. Truly, truly do. I mean, it is just, it's almost not fair. It just keeps them so stunned. Now, what do I have that I can actually use against you? Can you be poisoned? I probably have some poison. I have lots of poison knives. We'll see. There's 3. Okay, so you are poisoned. That's good. And poison should probably finish you off in just a minute here. There we go. That works well. And let the poison do its magic. Meanwhile, it's time to dress down to our skivvies. Doing this acid in here, this corrosive liquid, will have no effect on you. You actually get some corrosive urns, which makes sense. I guess pot's just full of this liquid. Divine Blessing. And over here, hopefully, this remains the same. No, it doesn't. The soul, you get Soul Geyser and another Petrified Dragon Bone. You don't get the Aldia's Keep key. Alright. Have to find out what they did with that. Get redressed here. Pardon me. There we go. Alright. So this room's clear. This wagon is rocking. It probably means there's a basilisk inside, and that's exactly what it means. Alright, so it's locked, which means we do need the key. I wonder if the key maybe is in here. This is the door that I was talking about. It is chained up. You cannot open it. You cannot break through it. Only one of the enemies can break through it. So we are going to get one of the ogre's attention and bring him down here. But first, let's light this here sconce and deal with apparently yet another Forsworn. They're just not learning their lesson. Well, apparently I'm not learning my lesson. There we go. Hey. No. You don't hit me. You just don't hit me. That's my rule. I know I'm not using Estus. I'm saving them because I don't want to set any bonfires. Alright, before we release an ogre... Okay, if I go too much further, there's an ogre, you can see him, he's going to come crashing through there, and we don't want that to happen because he'll just break through everything and cause an absolute nightmare. So instead, deal with this guy. By the way, Aldia. If you don't know anything about Aldia, Aldia is a little bit like Seath in that he is really interested in the soul arts and what the soul arts can be used in order to transform creatures into. So you can see over here we have corpses of giants. We have this corrosive acid pit that he apparently just dumps corpses down into and let the dogs feed off of them. And this dragon acolyte was just working with a butcher's knife on this piece of meat, whatever it was. There you go. But Aldia is the scholar of the first sin, so we've already actually seen him. Now where do I get the key is the question. Know what I'm gonna do? Can I wonder if I can get this mimic. I don't even know if he's targetable. He doesn't appear to be. I can't target him, and the splash damage isn't doing anything, so maybe Maybe an ogre needs to knock him down? So let's get the... Did this ogre do anything? I don't know if he's tall enough to hit this cage up above, but let's see. I don't think he is. No, it doesn't appear so. Alright. Well, you... No, I don't want you to come with me. I will get your brothers a little closer to chase me down to the locked room. So you just have a seat. Oh, there's a Ferris Lockstone there. Herp. My bad. And I did just... Or, I'm sorry, a Ferris Contraption, and I have a Lockstone. So we'll go and use that. Maybe that's going to light this area up. Or do something horrible. You know, before we do that, just in case it does something horrible, let's come down here. Let's get this giant to open up the locked door for me. Is there someone behind here? No. Hey. Ugly. Come here. Come this way. Where are you going? This way. Their pathing can be a little wonky, so you want to stay a little bit closer. Maybe a little close for comfort, but... Alright. Nope. I need you to stand up. Come on. And there we go. Good. Now we want to not get grabbed. We want to bait a sitting attack. Just like clockwork. By now you guys should all be old pros at taking out the ogres. The ogres? I don't know why I just said it like a Minnesotan. But I did. Alright, now, is this the key? No, it's the malformed shell. My apologies. Let me retract. The malformed skull. Darn it. The malformed skull is what you previously got in the lower portion of the Sinner's area, the Sinner's Rise. My apologies. That's where you used to get this. They used to drop from the enhanced undead from there. But now, the malformed shell, this was actually always in there. And you can see, it looks to be teeth embedded in a jaw. And if you compare this to the imperfect dragon's mouths in Shulva, they look very similar. At least my opinion. I had pointed it out back when the trailer was first released. So maybe this was our first glimpse at the imperfect dragons. I don't know. It hits like a truck, by the way. Not a very beautiful weapon, in my opinion, but it works. All right, let's go use the Ferris Lockstone in the Ferris Contraption, see what that does, and really hope that we find the key. Also, I wonder if I lit all... You know what, there's probably another sconce. I bet there's another sconce in the locked area. Well, there we go. That looks a lot better. Actually, this hallway looks really good with this lighting. There's one of the enhanced undeads. Don't believe we can really get to him. There's a basilisk. There's a basilisk in here and in here, which this ogre is probably going to break open for us. Oh, geez. Okay, need to back up, use a couple repair powders. This is why I have them on my hotbar, because I didn't want to rest. We don't have too much further to go. And sit down. Good man. $900 damage. And what is the durability looking like? 64 to 70, that's plenty. By the way, I was told, and this is something that, because I'm colorblind, and yes, I am going to blame this, I've never really paid attention before, even though I have noticed it. Right below the weapon in my hotbar, so in my HUD right to my right, to your left, there is a red bar indicating the durability. And that actually does tell you, even though it's not specific, exactly how much durability you have left. Alright, where's the second ogre? I never pay attention to that because honestly that's very difficult for me to actually see and make out, unfortunately. Is this the key? No? Where's the key? Yeah, I know. Maybe you want to drop it, I don't know. Look at that damage. Oh, that combo is so brutal. One more R2 and you're done. I'm going to run back and see if the dragon maybe came to life. I don't think I'm going to get the key later on. What did I miss? I must have missed something. So in there, That's where we're going to fight the Guardian Dragon, whom we sadly have fought before because they decided to put one in Hade's Tower. So let's run back. I've already gone in there, right? There's no items in here. Nothing, okay. I don't see... Oh, you know, there used to be an item hidden under a table. I don't think I got that. Maybe that's the key. Or they've gotten rid of it. Or did I already get it? Maybe it was right there. Maybe I'm just not remembering correctly. Well, did anything change? What does this do? What does this lever do? Nothing. I can't use it, probably because it's just tied to this. Has anything changed here? Oh, so help me if one of you guys has the key on you. Because I don't think this dragon has moved any. Or has he? Nope, the skull is still there. Alright guys, give me I'm going to cut to when I actually find out what's going on here. See if I can alleviate this situation and find the key. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not going to cut because this skull is now moving. Okay, what are you doing? Aha! Look at that. Aldia key. And I believe the prerequisites to getting that is lighting all the sconces and killing all the Forsworn. Alright, well, back to the hallway where we had a locked room before. Should be a couple of dragon acolytes in there. And then lastly, we'll take on the Guardian Dragon, and that will wrap up Aldia's Keep. Aldia's Keep has some interesting changes. I don't hate them. I don't mind fighting the Forsworn a few times. I mean, he's relatively easy. The only thing is I don't believe that killing him here counts towards the killing him 5 times to get his armor and weapons from Strayed in the Lost Bastille. Again, I could be wrong there, but I believe that is what I heard. What is that? Is that a gargoyle? It is a gargoyle. Oh, we got the Aldia hammer. I don't know if I've ever gotten the Aldia's hammer before. Very cool. Soul of a Proud Knight. There is a chest here. Who is casting that? Is that a... This looks like the Prowling Magus boss. One of the warlocks. Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah. Wrath of God me, that's fine. Oh, you're a mimic! Don't eat me! That's not fair! That isn't fair. Okay. We need to get some distance. There's a lot of chests in here. Yeah. Keep casting your hexes. I'm gonna try to get the mimic's attention down here anyway. Okay, you're done. Once I deal with this guy, then we will... Well, I'm gonna clear completely of enemies, and then we'll loot all the chests. And what do you do? So that's what that does. It drops the gargoyle. That was necessary. I was gonna fight him anyway, but come on. Alright. You look like a mimic. And indeed you are. Get out of the way. And the finish. Just kidding, the finish! There we go. A couple of cracked red eye orbs. And you're another mimic, my goodness. Oh, that hyper armor. Hey. I might actually use an Estus now. Bonfire Ascetic. And over here. Large Soul of a Brave Warrior. Okay. That, I believe, is Aldia's Keep completely looted. All the secrets have been found. Now we get to go kill a dragon. Hopefully it isn't going to be too much of a difficulty. We've fought plenty of dragon before. Now, unlike the Guardian Dragon Hades Tower, this guy can fly all around the arena. I've talked about this time and time again with Sin and with other dragons. The biggest tip that I can offer is to not cut the tail off and just find the tail if he flies up and run towards it. Usually, if you follow that advice, you'll be fine. So let's go. Well, that's a decent start for damage. And do you want to do a foot stomp? You sure do. You're already below half. You might want to fly. There you go. Where's your tail? Oh, I lost his tail. Now I just got to run. Oh, you didn't breathe fire. Why aren't you breathing fire? Alright, now you're flying. You fly to the opposite side, so I just run to your tail. Careful. Go ahead and land. 513 damage. Whoa, watch the tail slam. Where'd you go? Ooh, almost finished him. Just run to the tail, run to the tail, run to the tail. This method works for every dragon in Dark Souls 2. Oh, you booger. You know I almost had you, right? Nope. There we go. Alright. Victory achieved. Guardian Dragon down. Not any more difficult than any dragon we fought before. In fact, he's probably the easiest dragon of any dragon you'll fight. But that was Aldia's Keep, and that is going to wrap up this episode. In the next one, we're going to be heading up into Dragon Shrine and Dragon Area. I'm not sure if those will be one episode or two. It's going to be tough. Just Dragon Area can take a little bit of time because there is a lot of loot to get, and plus you have 3 more Guardian Dragons to fight. But as I travel on my way up, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or insults, leave them in the comment section below. And I... Oh, no, 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 no. Hit the wrong gesture. And I will see you next time.